All right, guys, so today for the rest of the class period, we're going to work in your close reader. You should already have your close reader out, and you should be on page 63. Remember yesterday we read JFK's speech about space exploration and the importance of it. I will be collecting your citing text evidence tomorrow when I get back. So we're going to read through this stuff in the close reader, and then you'll answer the questions and stuff like we normally do. So make sure you're following along, please, as we go through this, okay? So the background says, beginning in 1981, NASA launched American astronauts into outer space through the Space Shuttle program. However, budget cuts forced NASA to discontinue the shuttle program in 2011. For years, scientists and economists have debated whether NASA should carry out human space travel in the future. As director of NASA's Life Sciences Divisions, Dr. Joan Vernikos studied the harmful effects of weightlessness on astronauts. So we're looking at the article, Is Space Exploration Worth the Cost? So this is an online essay. And the first part that you're going to be looking for as we read, it says, number one, as you read lines 1 through 31, begin to collect and cite evidence. Highlight the questions. I think in yours, when it says highlight, in mine, it says circle. So circle the question at the beginning of the essay. In the margin, explain what Vernikos says about the human spirit in lines 5 to 7, and then underline the main idea in each of the next 2 paragraphs. So make sure you're ready to do that. Remember, you need to do all parts of the question and not just one part of the question. So let's start reading. Make sure you're following along, please. It says, why explore? Asked why he kept trying to climb Everest, English mountaineer George Mallory reputedly replied, because it was there. Exploration is intrinsic to our nature. It is the contest between man and nature mixed with the primal desire to conquer. It fuels curiosity, inspiration, and creativity. The human spirit seeks to discover the unknown and in the process explore the physical and psychological potential of human endurance. There have always been the few risk takers who ventured for the rest of us to follow. Because of their earlier pioneers, air travel is now commonplace and space travel for all is just around the corner. Economic and societal beliefs are not immediately evident, but they always follow, as does our understanding of human potential to overcome challenges. 50 years after Sputnik, space remains the next frontier. Without risking human lives, robotic technology such as unmanned missions, probes, observatories, and landers enabled space exploration. It lay the groundwork and does the scouting. But as I heard former astronaut Thomas Jones often say, only a human can experience what being in space feels like, and only a human can communicate this to others. It is humans who repair the Hubble telescope. It is humans who service the International Space Station. Mercury astronauts were the first to photograph Earth from space with handheld cameras. Earth scientists in orbit on the ISS may view aspects of global change that only a trained eye can see. In addition, studying astronauts in the microgravity of space has been the only means of understanding how gravity affects human development and health here on Earth. It is highly probable that in this century, humans will settle on other planets. Our ability to explore and sustain human presence there will not only expand Earth's access to mineral resources, but should the need arise, provide alternative habitats for humanity's survival. All right, so that's through 31. So remember, if you go back one page, you need to answer number 1. And then you need to also answer number 2, reread lines 15 to 31, highlight every use of the word human in this paragraph. What idea is Vernikos emphasizing by repeating this word? What opposing viewpoint does she refute? So when you answer number 2, make sure you answer all parts of this question. There are 2 parts to it, and you need to answer both of them. you guys can go ahead and pause this and then go ahead and take a few minutes to answer these questions. Okay, so now picking up with number 3, it says, as you read lines 32 to 55, continue to cite text evidence. Highlight the questions at the beginning of the first paragraph. Underline the claim Vernikos makes about the benefits of space exploration in lines 32 through 47, and underline the claim in lines 48 through 55 and paraphrase it in the margin. So I should see some notes in the margin in this next little tidbit. Okay, so at what cost? Is there a price to inspiration and creativity? Economic, scientific, and technological returns of space exploration have far exceeded the investment. Globally, 43 countries now have their own observing or communication satellites in Earth orbit. Observing Earth has provided GPS, meteorological forecasts, predictions, and management of hurricanes and other natural disasters, and global monitoring of the environment, as well as surveillance and intelligence. Satellite communications have changed life and business practices with computer operations, cell phones, global banking, and TV. Studying humans living in the microgravity of space has expanded our understanding of osteoporosis and balance disorders and has led to new treatments. Wealth-generating medical devices and instrumentation such as digital mammography and outpatient breast biopsy procedures and the application of telemedicine to emergency care are but a few of the social and economic benefits of manned exploration that we take for granted. Space exploration is not a drain on the economy. It generates indefinitely more wealth than it spends. Royalties on NASA patents and licenses currently go directly to the U.S. Treasury and not back to NASA. I firmly believe, that the life sciences research program would be self-supporting if permitted to receive the return on its investment. NASA has done so much with so little that it has generally been assumed to have had a huge budget. In fact, the 2007 NASA budget of $16.3 billion is a minute fraction of the $13 trillion total GDP. All right, so you need to go back and answer number 3. Make sure you get that finished up. And then you don't need to do number 4. Okay, we'll skip number 4. So you can go ahead and pause now. Okay, welcome back. So you need to read lines 56 through 67, underline the opposing viewpoint Vernikos references, and restate it in the margin, okay? What's the hurry is a legitimate question. As the late Senator William Proxmire said many years ago, Mars isn't going anywhere. Why should we commit hard-pressed budgets for space exploration when there will always be competing interests? However, as Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo did 50 years ago, our future scientific and technological leadership depends on exciting creativity in the younger generations. Nothing does this better than manned space exploration. This is now a national urgency to direct the creative interests of our youth towards careers in science and engineering. We need to keep the flame of manned space exploration alive as China, Russia, India, and other countries forge ahead with substantial investments that challenge U.S. leadership in space. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and answer number 5, and then you can also answer number 6, which says, reread lines 56 to 67 and continue to cite text evidence. Underline the counterargument Vernikos addresses. Then highlight or circle the piece of evidence you find most convincing. Okay, so that means what makes you believe her argument the most. And then make notes in the margin to justify your choices. So you need to circle or highlight what's most convincing, what the most convincing piece of evidence is, and then in the margin, you need to tell me why. Why did that convince you?